Cyberleek has been tormenting Rockstar Games for over a week now, and a lot of people have been asking me this question about whether or not if GTA 6 leaks that we've been seeing so far is the latest build of the game, and if that is how the final game is going to look like or not. Well, for most of you guys who have not been in the game development field, you should probably know about the game builds and the build that Cyberleek is currently leaking out there, which a lot of people are confused on whether this is how the final game is going to look like. Some people like it, and some people say that they're not really happy with how the game looks and whatnot. But from the 7 years of experience that I have with the game development field, and I'm going to explain to you guys what kind of a build is Cyberleek using right now. Is it 2025's build, or if it's 2024 or 2023, if it's an old build? All of your questions are going to be answered right here in this video. So first off, let's talk about the core misconception that people are currently having with the playable build and with the finished final Master Gold product. Now, first thing is, what does build basically mean? Well, usually when we game developers, when we develop a game, we make sure that the game passes through multiple different phases. So these different phases have different names. So each build has a different name. So the first phase is where we completely start off the development of the game, which is called as the pre-alpha or the dev build, where the core systems are being tested out and the game is heavily broken, nothing works properly, it's completely unstable. And this build is strictly kept within the developers and the people that are closely working on the project of the game. And moving on further, we come up with the next build, which is known as the alpha build, where major features of the game are implemented, but there's still a lot of substantial unfinished work in the project. And this build is usually shared within the developers and community members that can provide valuable Q&A sessions where they can give us answers on what could be better so that we can start implementing these things within the game. And then comes the next build, which is known as the beta build. Now, this is probably where the content comes to a completion phase, where the game is fully playable from the beginning all the way to the end. But the game is going to be plagued with a lot of bugs and broken animations, unoptimized performances. It's basically a playable build, but with a lot of issues in it that's not finally polished out. And this is the build which is highly known to be a risk for exposure. So usually any game that comes down to the beta phase is when the entire development team needs to make sure that their project stays as secure as possible before the game goes gold. And the final phase of the game is known as the Gold Master. Now, this is the finale. The game is fully done. It's completed. It's printed onto the disc. It's sent over to retailers, and review copies are sent over to reviewers, content creators, and people that are interested in the game. So there is nothing about the Gold Master. So as far as what we can see from the Cyberleek's gameplays, I would say that the gameplay that he's been showing so far is probably around 2024's build, where he got his hands on with a beta developer version. Because as we know, we have recently seen a couple of these leaks where he shot his name leak on the wall and he let the whole world know that he's not just posting some random videos, and he already has a full developed version of the game that is completely playable. And he also mentioned that he's playing the game from the beginning all the way to the end, and he also stated that he has completely finished the whole game, the whole storyline, and he also rated it a 9 out of 10. And a lot of people have this misconception thinking that Cyberleek is a group of these hackers who just breached into Rockstar servers and downloaded all of those files. They just stole it, or probably broke their firewall and stole all of that data. Well, let me just tell you, that's not exactly how things runs in the gaming industry. Now, one of the core aspects of how Cyberleek got his hands on the game is probably using someone that works at Rockstar Games. Some kind of developer connection is how he probably got the developer build. The game that he's leaking right now, it's not hacked out of Rockstar server. This one is a development build that he has received from one of the developers who Rockstar has no idea who it might be, because now that the game has entered the beta phase, where they're going to be sharing the development version to many different devs and also many different companies that are working alongside with Rockstar in order to develop this project. So there could be hundreds and thousands of employees that have been working on the beta version. So it's really hard to pinpoint on who it is and from where the source just went out and who got to leak it. But that's where Rockstar Games is currently struggling in terms of finding out who the source of this leak is. But as far as what I can say, if you're concerned about on whether or not if this is how the final version of the game is going to look like, the beta versions are usually going to be a lot more different than the final polished Master Gold version. So that's basically how things works, from the map, from the graphics to the performance of the game. Each and everything is going to be completely different from the build that we see that Cyberleek has been leaking so far. So you don't have to be concerned. I've been seeing a lot of you guys in the comment section that this game looks almost the same as GTA 5. And I've got to say, if you would have seen the beta version of GTA 5, you would literally go crazy on how much of a difference the final product looks like. Genuinely, don't be concerned. It's nothing to worry about. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow we're going to be seeing the Netflix extended gameplay version. I don't know if Rockstar is going to be showing gameplay with the Netflix extended program that they're running right now, because they haven't said a word about what kind of content they're going to be showing. The only thing that they said is that it's going to be an extended look of GTA 6. So it's interesting to see what they're going to be doing. But at the same time, it makes no sense. If Rockstar Games is not going to be showing any gameplay, then I think Cyberleek is going to have a bit of an upper hand, because he's just going to keep dropping gameplays, and it's probably going to spoil a lot of things for gamers out there in the world. So I hope that Rockstar Games shows the current build of the game, because the game has not yet gone gold. Rockstar has not yet announced that the game has gone Master Gold, which means that the game is still in development. They're still polishing it. They're still developing it. There's a lot of work still to be done. We still have a couple months from the game to be launched, and the game is still not gold. So, which means that whatever version you're seeing from Cyberleek is still a pretty old version. Probably 2024 as much as what I can guess. So genuinely, don't be concerned. GTA 6 is still going to look the best. As far as what I've seen from the leaks, it already looks good. I've also seen the gameplay on full 1080p versions. I don't think it's available on Twitter, because Twitter usually, compresses the videos to the maximum ability they can. It looks so trash on Twitter. But I've seen like the full downloaded version of the gameplay without any watermarks, and it actually looks super good for a beta version that's being running on a 2024 build or something like that. So it's really amazing, and I'm pretty sure that the final version is just going to blow our minds off. So stay tuned for it. Stay tuned for what Rockstar Games has to say. And yeah, with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go ahead, drop a like. If you guys have any questions to ask related to GTA 6, let me know down below in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer to every single one of you guys. Now, if you guys want to stay tuned with more GTA 6 content, make sure to go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Till then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
It's all the things you never show. There